Hello everyone, it's been a while, but
We're finally back with another mysterious creature, this time from the Balkans. Today, we'll be exploring the Drekavac, a creature said to cry out in the night and terrify those who hear it. The Drekavac, meaning the screamer or the screecher, is a creature from South Slavic folklore, primarily found in Serbia, Bosnia, and surrounding regions. Its origin varies, but it is generally considered a supernatural being tied to the souls of the unbaptized dead. In many versions of the legend, the Drekavac is the restless spirit of a child who died before baptism, though some traditions claim it could also come from the wicked or sinful adults denied a proper burial or spiritual rites. The physical appearance of the creature varies wildly in reported sightings and folklore. It does not have a single consistent form. A few reports mention an animal with a disproportionately large head and the long limbs, sometimes described as primate-like. In some Serbian regions, it is depicted as a bird or a bat-like figure. Others describe it as a dog or cat-like bipedal creature. In most accounts, it appears as a humanoid child, described as being around 1 meter tall, with long teeth, glowing eyes, and clawed hands. Due to the inconsistent descriptions, it is sometimes suggested that the Drekavac may be a label applied to multiple supernatural or anomalous beings rather than a single defined cryptid. Drekavac is most commonly associated with emanating terrifying, high-pitched screams or cries. These sounds are typically heard at night and are believed to signal the presence of a creature or foretell death. The sound is described as similar to a child crying or a wailing ghost. Its behavior varies depending on the form it takes and the specific regional beliefs. In all forms, it is believed to avoid sunlight and is most active at night, especially during the 12 days of Christmas, when it is believed evil spirits roam freely. According to various sources, the Drekavac is known to ambush those who venture alone into the woods, leaping out from the shadows to startle or attack them. It is widely believed that the Drekavac cannot be killed by ordinary means. The creature is said to be bound to the mortal world until its soul finds peace, either through proper rites or in some traditions through baptism. The Drekavac is also said to fear dogs, light, and certain religious symbols. In traditional belief, it could be driven away by priests, holy water, church bells. In its adult form, which appears in fewer traditions, the Drekavac is a form of punishment for evil behavior in life, similar to a revenant. It may be tied to the idea of spiritual unrest and fear of improper death rites. Although rooted in folklore, there have been many modern alleged sightings. A supposed Drekavac corpse was even discovered, initially believed to be an unknown animal. It was later suggested to be a malformed, decomposed fox or dog. Though less internationally known than the creatures like the chupacabra or yeti, the Drekavac remains a significant part of Serbian and Balkan folklore. The entity known as Drekavac had no prior documentation or confirmed sightings within the beast archives. No research files, field notes, or credible sources existed to confirm its presence. It was considered little more than local folklore. I was deployed alone under the direct objective to locate, observe, and, if the creature indeed exists, begin immediate field study. I journeyed into the remote wilds of the Zlatibor Mountains in Serbia. Here, they speak of the Drekavac, a demon of dead, unbaptized children. I have been searching for this creature for over a week, scouring the wilderness at all hours, both day and night. With no confirmed activity pattern, I couldn't afford to assume whether it was a diurnal or nocturnal. Each sunrise brought a new path to follow, each nightfall a fresh set of questions. On the 12th day of the mission, I finally found something, a set of faint tracks pressed into the snow. They were small, roughly the size I had theorized for the subject, but oddly deep, as if the creature were far heavier than its foot size would suggest. The shape resembled primate prints, broad with clear toe impressions. Strangely, small claw indentations accompanied the tracks, an unusual trait for any primate. There are no wild primates native to Serbia, or the Balkans in general, outside of captivity. That fact alone made the discovery all the more unsettling. If these tracks were authentic, then whatever left them was something out of place. I followed the tracks, which often vanish near the bases of trees, strongly suggesting a primate adept at climbing. After several days of relentless tracking, my persistence paid off. I finally caught sight of the creature in the midst of a hunt. A boar stood alone underneath a tree, snuffling and rooting through the snow, unaware of the danger above. Without warning, a compact figure dropped silently from the nearby tree. A creature no larger than 50 pounds, but powerfully built and covered in coarse gray fur. It landed squarely on the boar's back, latching on with sharp claws that dug deep into flesh. The boar squealed and bucked, but the predator held firm. Then it bared its jaws, narrow but vicious. It sank its teeth into the boar's neck. Though its bite wasn't wide enough to suffocate the animal in one go, it struck again and again, each savage bite draining the boar's strength. Gradually, the struggle slowed. The creature clung like a living vice, relentless, until the boar could no longer fight back. Once the boar collapsed, the creature finally loosened its grip and stepped back. For a moment, it simply loomed there, exhausted but triumphant. Then it froze. Nostrils flaring, it sniffed the air, and slowly, its head turned and its eyes found mine. Time stopped. I was paralyzed. I had just watched this thing bring down an animal 4 times its size, with terrifying precision and strength. If it came at me now, I wouldn't last more than a minute. We stared at each other. Then it opened its mouth and let out a screech that split the forest air like a knife. It was piercing, primal, and impossibly loud. Every instinct screamed at me to run, and in that moment, the message was clear: leave. And it worked. My legs moved on their own. I backed away, heart pounding like a war drum, but I didn't run far. I had to see more of it, understand it, track it, and of course, I had to report everything back to the Beast Agency. I left the creature alone that day. It had earned its space, and truthfully, I needed time to process what I'd seen, but it couldn't remain unnamed in my notes, so I called it Drekavac cervenius. The next morning, I returned to the forest, determined to find it again. As I moved through the underbrush, following faint tracks and broken branches, my mind raced with possibilities. What was this thing? It reminded me most of Paradolichopithecus, a large monkey that roamed Europe and Western Asia during the Pleistocene. Its closest living relatives are macaques and baboons, though it was distinct from both. The genus disappeared over 1 million years ago, leaving no direct descendants. But what if a small remnant group had endured, hidden, adapting, and evolving? This, Drekavac, might be their descendant, with multiple adaptations to keep him present in the region until modern day. From what I could observe, the most intriguing and unsettling feature of the Drekavac was its claws. Unlike the blunt nails typical of most primates, these were sharp, curved, and predatory, clear evolutionary adaptations. They had transformed from simple toenails into formidable weapons, capable of clinging, slashing, and holding down prey. Combined with its disproportionately large canine teeth, there was no doubt this creature was a hunter. These physical traits painted a vivid picture of its evolutionary journey. What likely began as an opportunistic omnivore, feeding on fruits, roots, insects, and the occasional small animal, had, over the course of many years, shifted decisively towards a carnivorous niche. Its most unnerving feature is its piercing screech, a chilling, high-pitched call that cuts through the silence of snowy forests like a blade. This haunting cry likely inspired local legends, lending its voice to the origin of the Drekavac. The next encounter came just under a few days. It was far more revealing. I spotted them gathered near a frozen stream. A small group, likely 2 females and an older male, huddled close and grooming each other in a moment of calm, almost familial intimacy. Suddenly, the peace was shattered by a piercing shriek. A 4th figure, a younger male, burst into the clearing, his posture rigid, his throat swelling with each echoing cry. The older male stepped into the flat stone, the challenger mirroring him nearby. For a moment, they stood elevated and exposed, screaming face to face. No blows were struck, yet the air crackled with threat. After prolonged posturing, the younger male faltered and slipped back into the forest shadows, outmatched. The dominant male descended and rejoined the group, resuming grooming as if nothing had occurred. It was a rare and powerful glimpse into their social dynamics. From what I could determine through observation, and the unforgettable experience of hearing it firsthand, the Drekavac most likely possesses an unusually large throat cavity, and more specifically, an enlarged hyoid bone. This adaptation immediately reminded me of howler monkeys, which use their expanded hyoid to produce deep, resonant vocalizations that carry across vast distances. Now I understand that this terrifying sound wasn't meant for humans. It's an evolutionary weapon. An acoustic bluff evolved to intimidate competition, warn rivals, or perhaps even coordinate with others of its kind. That monstrous cry is a voice of dominance, carved by evolution to ward off threats of without a fight. I had seen the creature, documented its behavior, and gathered as much evidence as I could without risking my life further. I compiled everything into this report. Further action is at the discretion of the Beast Agency. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us grow and brings us closer to that sweet 1,000 subscriber milestone. Until next time, stay curious and take care.